Good evening, ladies, gents, and Pikachus, beloveds of the internet. Tonight I would like to speak to you about 40,000 dead people in Gaza. No, 80,000 dead people. No, 45,000. 85. Anyway, the number has not been confirmed, so it may well be propaganda. So that's what we're going to be talking about, BBC propaganda. So I'm your host, Daily Corvid. Let's get started. Have you noticed how the BBC's journalists, specifically their Middle Eastern correspondents, cannot count? They're almost as bad as Allah in the Quran when they get their counting, their maths and their dates and times mixed up. One might assume that they're doing it on purpose since it is such a regular fixture. For instance, yesterday there was an article published on BBC Verify and it said, 45,000 people are dead in Gaza. It's terrible. Israel bad. Today they published another article and said, 40,000 people killed today. The whole death toll is 42,540. And I'm thinking, hang on, you said there was more people dead yesterday than you're announcing today, and you're adding 40,000. But the total is not 80,000. Then I read another article and it says 40,005 from earlier today. So I'm thinking, is it 40,005? Is it 45,540? Or is it 42,000? Or is it 80,000, which it should be if you add up the 40,000 that died today, according to you, according to Hamas, plus the 40,000 you announced yesterday? So what I'm trying to tell you is the BBC are no longer an impartial, trustworthy journalist organisation. They're just not. Like, you can physically go there now and check that. Look up yesterday's articles and the day before. Look up today's. Check the numbers they give. Their numbers don't add up. There's more people dead yesterday than there are today. So what are they raising these people from the dead? No. The fact is they are publishing Hamas propaganda as fact and they're putting it in Verify. And they are putting a load of pictures up to make you think, the BBC got a journalist down there. So that BBC journalist who they've named in the article must be responsible for this. Surely they must be honest. But then you read right down the very last paragraph of the whole page and it says they can't have a reporter there because reporting access is blocked due to the danger of war. So where are they getting their information? That's right, the Hamas-owned health organisation. That's who's giving them the figures. So they have a war going on with two sides, Hamas and Israel, claiming that they are impartial, but they are ignoring Israeli information, which is government-backed and actually checked off, which is submitted to the UN, which anyone can look at and is virtually, 100% accurate. But they ignore that. And they are choosing to 100% go with Hamas information, which is not accurate at all. We know this, plus is filled with propaganda. Yet they call themselves impartial, yet they put it in the Verify position on their page, yet they name a British Jewish journalist in the article to make you think that's the person who's responsible for those figures. And at the very bottom, which no one's going to read to because it's a very boring, it's just like the Quran, it's boring to read through and it's too long. At the very bottom it says, no reporter is there, we got our information from Hamas. So in conclusion of this short video, please understand the reason why people argue in the street and families are divided and hating each other and why everyone's at war in the country, like a social war. Do you support Israel? Do you support Hamas? It's not because people care about Hamas or Israel. It's because they are brainwashed with media propaganda, news bullshit from the BBC and others, Al Jazeera, RT, the big propagandist corporations. And they are openly swilling and lying to you and deceiving you, knowing full well you are not going to check the details. So all they have to do is put a reputable journalist name at the top, a big logo that says Verify, a load of pictures which look like they relate to the article that they've given you, and you will read halfway down the page and then you will go off with your mind made up, regardless of the fact that you've just gone off with 100% false information in your head. Then at the very bottom they will tell you this is not accurate information, this is not from the journalist, these pictures aren't from the real thing, knowing that no one's going to read that far. This is what propaganda looks like. Plus it's Hamas information. Think about it like this. If you had a fight with your neighbour, a physical fight, and then the police were called, and the police took both of your statements How would you feel if they completely ignored your statement and 100% believed the other person, despite the fact that they didn't see anything, and it's your word against theirs? Then how would you feel if you thought the only reason they were backing this other person is a racial or a religious background? That's the basis they're doing that on. You call it what it is. Racism, discrimination, persecution, and that is what the BBC are doing to us here. They are racially discriminating against Jews and Israel and Christians, but they are persecuting us with all this false information, which is Hamas propaganda. And if we have any sense at all and we want peace, to stop arguing with our neighbours, we're going to have to accept arguments, risk being criticised, and we're going to have to stand firm on the truth. That's the only way we can do this. And that's what we should do. So that's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed that and you learned something. God bless you all. And I'll see you lovely people in the next one. Bye now. And like I always say in every single video, if you don't believe me, buy it and read it yourself. Go to bbc.com before they change it, because they will do that now that I've criticised them, and add up those figures for yourself. So that's the end of this video. God bless you all. See you tomorrow. Good night. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.